10 hidden things a narcissist wants from you during no contact. There's a strange silence that follows the moment you walk away from a narcissist. Not the peaceful kind, the kind that brings relief, that signals healing. No, this silence is different. It hums with tension. It pulses with unspoken questions. It feels like waiting. And if you've gone no contact, you may have noticed something unsettling. Even in your absence, they're still present. Not physically, not with words, but in the quiet ways they linger. In your digital space, in mutual conversations, in the way your mind still wonders, are they thinking about me? But here's the truth they don't want you to know. No contact doesn't mean they're gone. It means they've shifted into a new phase, one that's quieter, more calculated, and far more dangerous than the chaos they once created. Because for a narcissist, losing you isn't about grief. It's about losing control. And when you cut them off, when you stop reacting, when you disappear from their emotional supply chain, they don't just accept it. They adapt. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on something most survivors don't see until much later. The 10 hidden things a narcissist wants from you during no contact. This isn't speculation. It's not drama. It's based on real psychological patterns observed by therapists and psychologists who study narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. We'll explore what's really happening behind their silence, why they can't truly let go, and how their inactivity is often the most manipulative phase of all. Because the moment you go no contact, you don't just end a relationship, you trigger a crisis in their world. And everything they do from that point forward is designed to regain power without you even realizing it. So if you ever wonder why they seem to be watching, why they reappear at strange moments, or why your peace still feels fragile, stay with us until the end. What we're about to uncover might finally explain why they can't let go and how you can stay free. Let's begin. When you decide to go no contact, it feels like freedom, like a door finally closing, like you've taken back your life. And in many ways you have. But for the narcissist, that moment is not an ending. It's a threat, a disruption, a loss of control. Because narcissists don't form emotional attachments the way most people do. Their relationships aren't built on love, trust, or mutual respect. They're built on influence, admiration, and dominance. That means when you walk away and cut contact, you're not just leaving. You're removing a crucial source of emotional fuel. You were once a part of their world. You gave them attention. You engaged with their drama. You responded to their manipulation. And now you're gone. Not temporarily. Not with the possibility of return. But completely. And that kind of absence doesn't just affect them in the moment. It lingers. It haunts them. Because for someone who thrives on validation and control, losing someone who truly saw through them is one of the most destabilizing experiences they can face. So what do they want from you during no contact? They don't want reconciliation. They don't want healing. They don't want to apologize. No, what they want is far more insidious. They want control. They want power. They want proof that you still matter to them, even if only in your silence. Let's go deeper. 1. They want proof you still react. Even in silence, the narcissist is watching. They may have blocked you, cut contact, or gone completely silent, acting as if you no longer exist in their world. They may have told mutual friends they've moved on, started a new relationship, or even claimed they never cared in the first place. But behind the scenes, behind the facade of indifference, they're not truly gone. They're present in ways that are quiet, subtle, and often invisible to you, but very real to them. They stalk your social media profiles, not out of curiosity, but out of obsession. They check your stories, your posts, your activity, even from fake accounts or through someone else's phone. They monitor your updates, your photos, your mood, looking for any sign that you're still emotionally connected to them. Not because they miss you, not because they genuinely care about your well-being, but because they need to know, are you reacting? Are you still thinking about them? Do you still feel something when you see their name? Are you jealous, hurt, or confused? That's what they're searching for. Not love, not closure, not healing. They're looking for emotional feedback. Any reaction at all. Because to a narcissist, attention is power. And as long as you're still emotionally affected by them, even if it's anger, sadness, or confusion, They believe they still hold influence over you. If you post something happy, they watch closely. Does it feel forced? Are you truly at peace? Or are you masking pain? They search for cracks in your joy, hoping to find evidence that you're not as healed as you seem. If you're seen with someone new, they don't just feel jealousy, they feel threatened. Because your moving on confirms their deepest fear, that they were replaceable. And if you appear calm, grounded, genuinely at peace, that unsettles them the most. Because your silence, your stability, your lack of reaction is the ultimate defeat. It means they no longer have control. It means you've truly let go. But they won't accept that easily. So they keep watching. They keep checking. They keep searching for a sign, a comment, a glance, a moment of weakness, that you're not as free as you appear. Because to them, your freedom is their loss. And they can't let go until they believe they still matter to you. 2. They want to be the one who ends it. Narcissists have a deep, almost unbearable fear of being abandoned, even if they were the ones who initiated previous breakups or created the conditions that led to the end of the relationship. The moment you make the decision to walk away, to cut contact, to remove yourself from their life on your own terms, it becomes an intolerable blow to their ego. Because being left isn't just about losing a person. It's about losing control. And for a narcissist, control is everything. It's the foundation of their self-image, the illusion that they are powerful, in charge, and untouchable. When you leave first, when you stop reacting, stop begging, stop trying to fix things, you disrupt their entire narrative. You shift the balance of power. And that's something they simply cannot accept. So, during no contact, they often find ways to reappear. Not because they want to rebuild a relationship, not because they've changed, and certainly not because they miss you in any healthy way. They return to reclaim the story, to rewrite the ending in their favor. They might send a cryptic message that seems accidental. Hey, just saw your post and thought of you. They might have a mutual friend casually mention they asked about you, as if it were an innocent comment. Or they might coincidentally show up in a place they know you frequent, your gym, your favorite cafe, a social event, just to create the impression that they're still part of your world. Their goal isn't reconciliation. Their goal is manipulation. They want to make it seem like they ended things, not you, that they were the one who walked away, that you're the one still thinking about them, still affected, still emotionally invested, because in their mind, the person who leaves is the one with power. The one who stays is the one who needs. And they can't bear the idea of being the one who was left behind. So they engineer situations that blur the lines, that make you question what really happened, that make you wonder if you're the one who misread the relationship, if you were the one who overreacted, if you were the one who failed. Because if they can make you doubt your own decision, they regain control, even from a distance. They don't want you back. They want you to believe that you never left in the first place, that you're still waiting, still hoping, still under their spell. Because as long as you're questioning your strength, your choice, your peace, they win. And that's why they can't let go. Not because they love you, but because they can't stand being the one who was left behind. 3, they want to know you're hurting. For a narcissist, your pain is not something they mourn or feel guilty about. It's not a tragedy to them. It's validation, a confirmation of their significance. If they believe you're struggling after the breakup, if you appear lonely, emotionally drained, or lost without them, it feeds their ego in the deepest way. It proves in their mind that they were essential, that you revolved around them, that your world was built on their presence and collapses in their absence. That's why they pay such close attention, even in silence. They don't just casually glance at your life. They actively scan for signs of suffering. A social media post with a melancholy tone, a photo where you look withdrawn or tired, a quiet profile with no updates, which they interpret as emotional shutdown. They listen intently to mutual friends, waiting for phrases like, they've been quiet lately, or they're still healing, or they haven't been the same since it ended. To most people, these are signs of someone processing pain. But to a narcissist, they're not compassion triggers, they're trophies. Each piece of information becomes proof. Proof that you're not okay. Proof that you miss them. Proof that their absence has left a void only they could fill. And that kind of knowledge is intoxicating to them. It restores their sense of power. It reaffirms the illusion that they were the most important person in your life. But if you seem happy, if your posts show peace, growth, or even joy, if you appear genuinely at peace, moving forward without bitterness or longing, that's not a relief to them. It's a threat, because your happiness dismantles their entire narrative. It contradicts the story they tell themselves, that you are dependent on them, that you can't function without their attention, that your life is lesser without them. Your peace becomes undeniable evidence that you don't need them, and that's something their ego cannot tolerate. So they may try to disrupt it, not with direct confrontation, not with dramatic declarations, but in subtle, insidious ways. A sudden like on an old photo from your past together, just enough to trigger a memory. A vague comment on a neutral post, like, "This brought back memories," designed to stir emotion. A mutual friend accidentally mentioning they saw them recently, as if to remind you they still exist. These actions aren't about reconnection. They're about disruption. They're about creating a ripple in your calm, a moment of doubt, a flash of sadness, a reminder that they're still watching. Because as long as they can stir even a flicker of pain or confusion in you, they win. They remain relevant. They remain powerful. And your suffering becomes a fuel that keeps their illusion alive. For they want to rewrite the story in their favor. Narcissists can't tolerate being the villain. So during no contact, they begin rewriting history. In their mind, you weren't the one who escaped. You were the one who failed. You were too sensitive, too demanding, too unstable. They tell themselves and others that you're the one who couldn't handle the relationship, that you're the one who couldn't appreciate them, that you're the one who ruined everything. And by doing this, they protect their ego. They avoid the truth that you saw through them and chose to leave. So they don't want you to heal. They want you to struggle because your failure becomes their victory. 5, they want to test your boundaries. No contact is not the end of their manipulation. It's a new phase. And one of their favorite tactics is testing your boundaries. They might send a message disguised as coincidence. "Hey, I was just thinking about you." They might comment on a post you liked. They might show up at an event you're attending. These aren't random. They're probes. They want to see if you'll respond, if you'll break silence, if you'll give them an opening. And if you do even once, they believe they've won. Because any reaction is a crack in your armor. It means they still have influence. 6, they want to be needed. Narcissists don't want love. They want dependency. They want to believe that you can't live without them, that you miss their presence, their attention, their control. So during no contact, they search for proof that you still need them. Did you search their name? Did you look at their profile? Did you ask someone about them? These behaviors, small as they seem, are like lifelines to them. Because if you're still thinking about them, you're still under their spell. And that's what they crave, the illusion that you're the one who can't let go. 7, they want to regain control through triangulation. Triangulation is a classic narcissistic tactic, bringing a third party into the dynamic to create jealousy, insecurity, or competition. During no contact, they may start dating someone new, not because they care about that person, but because they want you to know. They might post photos, drop hints, have mutual friends accidentally mention it. Their goal? To make you feel replaced, to make you question your worth, to make you wonder if you made a mistake. Because if you feel jealous, if you feel insecure, if you feel the urge to reach out, they regain control without ever contacting you directly. 8, they want to be the exception. Deep down, narcissists fear being forgotten. So they hold on to the hope that you'll make an exception for them, that one day you'll break your own rules, that you'll respond to a message, that you'll say, "I miss you." They don't want a real relationship. They want the power of being the only one who can pull you back in. So they wait, they watch, they linger, not because they love you, but because they love the idea of being irreplaceable. 9, they want to avoid facing their emptiness. The truth is, narcissists are emotionally empty. They don't have a stable sense of self. And when you go no contact, when the noise stops, when the drama fades, they're forced to face that void. But they can't. So instead of healing, they distract. They obsess over you. They replay memories. They imagine scenarios. They create fantasies where you come back begging. Because as long as they're focused on you, they don't have to face themselves. And that's why they can't let go. Not because they miss you, but because you're a distraction from their own emptiness. 10. They want to prove they still matter. At the core of every narcissist behavior is a desperate need to feel important, to be seen, to be admired. And when you go no contact, that need is threatened. So everything they do, from stalking your social media to inserting themselves into mutual spaces, is designed to prove they still matter to you, that you still think about them, that they still have a place in your mind. Because if you've truly moved on, if you're truly at peace, it means they were never as powerful as they pretended to be. And that's the one thing they can never accept. In conclusion, the 10 hidden things a narcissist wants from you during no contact are not about love, closure, or healing. They're about control, about fear, about the need to maintain an illusion that you help expose. You didn't cause this. You didn't make them fail. You simply walked away. And in doing so, you became living proof that their world is far more fragile than they want anyone to believe. So keep going, keep healing, keep reclaiming your life. Because the more you step into your own truth, the less mental space they will occupy. And that, more than anything, is what makes them afraid. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing it with someone who may be on the path to healing. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts, your experiences, and how you're rebuilding your life after toxicity. Your voice matters. Your story matters. Remember, healing is not a straight line. It's full of ups and downs, moments of strength, and moments where you may feel uncertain. But every step you take away from their chaos brings you closer to your truth. Keep going. Keep growing. Keep reclaiming your power. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself. Stay grounded. And never stop believing in your own worth.